Hi, this is Total Football, and today we are going to look at rivalries in football derbies. Derbies can be a very hostile environments. There are many big football rivals all over the world, so without further ado, here are some of the rivals in football's biggest environments. 1. Manchester United vs Manchester City, Manchester Derby. Explore the history of the Manchester Derby, one of the most famous derbies in English football. Highlight memorable moments, iconic matches, and the fierce competition between the two Manchester clubs. 2. Barcelona vs Real Madrid, El Clásico. Dive into the intense rivalry between Barcelona and Real Madrid in La Liga. Discuss the historical context, the Messi vs Ronaldo era, and the cultural significance of El Clásico. 3. Liverpool vs Everton, Merseyside Derby. Examine the Merseyside Derby, which divides Liverpool between the Reds and the Blues. Explore the historical context, famous clashes, and the unique atmosphere of this local rivalry. 4. Celtic vs Rangers, Old Firm Derby. Explore the Old Firm Derby between Celtic and Rangers in Scottish football. Discuss the historical and religious aspects that contribute to the intensity of this rivalry. 5. Boca Juniors vs River Plate, Superclásico. Delve into the Superclásico, the fierce rivalry between Boca Juniors and River Plate in Argentine football. Discuss the passionate fan base, stadium atmosphere, and the historic matches that define this derby. 6. AC Milan vs Inter Milan, Derby della Madonnina. Explore the Milan Derby, known as the Derby della Madonnina, between AC Milan and Inter Milan. Discuss the historical context, iconic players, and the impact on Italian football. 7. Fenerbahce vs Galatasaray, Intercontinental Derby. Explore the Intercontinental Derby in Turkish football between Fenerbahce and Galatasaray. Discuss the passionate fan base, the cultural significance, and the intensity on and off the pitch. 8. Arsenal vs Tottenham Hotspur, North London Derby. Discuss the North London Derby between Arsenal and Tottenham Hotspur. Explore the historical context, memorable moments, and the fierce competition for supremacy in North London. The Manchester Derby between Manchester United and Manchester City. Introduction. The Manchester Derby is one of the most highly anticipated fixtures in English football, pitting the two major clubs from the city against each other. The rivalry has grown in intensity over the years, fueled by a shared city and a competitive drive for success. Historical context. The rivalry traces back to the late 19th century when both clubs were formed. Manchester United, founded in 1878 as Newton Heath, and Manchester City, founded in 1880 as St. Mark's, developed a local competition that evolved into a fierce derby. Memorable moments. Discuss iconic moments in Manchester Derby history, such as the thrilling 4-3 match in 2009 and the 6-1 victory for Manchester City in 2011 at Old Trafford. Highlight memorable goals, key victories, and standout performances from players on both sides. Cultural significance. Explore how the Manchester Derby goes beyond football, influencing the cultural fabric of the city. Discuss how the derby divides families, workplaces, and communities, adding to the passion and intensity. Key figures. Highlight legendary players who have left a lasting impact on the Manchester Derby, such as Ryan Giggs, Eric Cantona, Sergio Aguero, and David Silva. Discuss how these players became symbols of their respective clubs and heroes in derby clashes. Rivalry in the Premier League era. Discuss the Manchester Derby's significance in the context of the modern Premier League era. Explore how both teams have experienced periods of success, contributing to the unpredictability of the derby. Fan atmosphere. Showcase the electric atmosphere created by fans during the Manchester Derby, whether at Old Trafford or the Etihad Stadium. Discuss the chants, banners, and traditions that make the fan experience unique. Recent matches and developments. Provide insights into recent Manchester Derby matchups and their impact on the Premier League standings. Discuss managerial changes, player transfers, and other developments that have influenced the dynamics of the rivalry. Conclusion. Summarize the enduring intensity of the Manchester Derby and its status as one of the most watched fixtures in English football. Encourage viewers to share their favorite moments and experiences from the Manchester Derby. Remember to include relevant footage, interviews, and statistical insights to create a comprehensive and engaging video on the Manchester Derby. Let's explore the iconic El Clasico rivalry between Barcelona and Real Madrid. Introduction. El Clasico is one of the most anticipated and prestigious fixtures in world football, featuring the fierce rivalry between Spain's two football giants, Barcelona and Real Madrid. This matchup transcends football and is deeply ingrained in the historical, cultural, and sporting fabric of Spain. Historical context. Trace the origins of El Clasico, dating back to the early 20th century when both clubs were founded. Discuss the historical events and milestones that have shaped the rivalry, creating a compelling narrative. Memorable moments. Highlight some of the most memorable and iconic moments in El Clasico history, such as Alfredo Di Stefano's influence in the 1950s, the 5-0 victory for Barcelona in 2010, and Sergio Ramos's late goals in crucial matches. Showcase standout goals, contentious incidents, and unforgettable matches that have left a lasting impact. Cultural significance. Explore how El Clasico reflects the broader cultural and political dynamics in Spain, representing the regional pride of Catalonia, Barcelona, and the Spanish capital, Real Madrid. Discuss how the rivalry extends beyond football, influencing societal narratives and identities. Key figures. Highlight legendary players who have graced El Clasico, such as Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Johan Cruyff, and Alfredo Di Stefano. Discuss how these players became synonymous with the rivalry and left indelible marks on its history. Tactical battles. Explore the tactical nuances and strategic battles between managers in El Clasico matchups. Discuss how different footballing philosophies have clashed, leading to compelling and unpredictable encounters. Recent matches and records. Provide insights into recent El Clasico matchups and any records or milestones achieved in these encounters. Discuss how the balance of power has shifted between the two clubs in recent seasons. Fan atmosphere. Showcase the passionate fan base of both Barcelona and Real Madrid during El Clasico matches. Explore the unique chants, displays, and traditions that define the fan atmosphere during this intense rivalry. Off-pitch storylines. Discuss off-pitch storylines, including transfer sagas, managerial changes, and controversies that have added drama to the rivalry. Explore how these narratives have shaped the perception of El Clasico in the broader footballing world. Conclusion. Summarize the enduring allure of El Clasico as a spectacle that captures the essence of football rivalry. Encourage viewers to share their favorite El Clasico moments and experiences. The Old Firm is the term used to describe the historic football rivalry between two Scottish football clubs based in Glasgow, Celtic FC and Rangers FC. The rivalry is not only one of the oldest and most intense in football, but also carries significant cultural, religious, and social dimensions. Key aspects of the Old Firm rivalry include religious and cultural divide. One of the distinctive features of the Old Firm rivalry is the religious and cultural aspect. Historically, Celtic has had a predominantly Catholic fan base, while Rangers has had a mainly Protestant following. This religious and cultural divide reflects wider societal tensions in Glasgow and Scotland. Historical context. The rivalry has deep historical roots that go beyond football. It has its origins in the late 19th century when Rangers were formed. Celtic was founded later with the explicit aim of helping impoverished Irish immigrants, and this added a layer of social and political complexity to the rivalry. Competitive football. On the pitch, Celtic and Rangers have been the dominant forces in Scottish football, winning the majority of league titles between them. The head-to-head clashes between these two teams are crucial in determining the outcome of the Scottish Premiership. Passionate fan base. Both Celtic and Rangers have passionate and dedicated fan bases. The atmosphere during Old Firm matches is electric, with intense support, chants, and displays of loyalty from both sets of fans. The rivalry often spills over into off-field incidents, contributing to the intense nature of the fixture. Impact beyond football. The Old Firm rivalry extends beyond the football pitch, influencing the social fabric of Glasgow and Scotland. The intense competition has at times been marred by sectarianism and violence, although efforts have been made to address and reduce these issues. High-stakes matches. Matches between Celtic and Rangers are not only about pride but also have significant implications for the league standings. The winner of the Old Firm matches often gains a psychological advantage in the title race. Despite the fierce rivalry, it's worth noting that both clubs have made efforts to promote unity and tolerance in recent years. Initiatives have been implemented to tackle sectarianism and promote a more inclusive atmosphere within Scottish football. The Derby della Madonnina is the name given to the football matches between AC Milan and Inter Milan, two of the most successful and popular football clubs in Italy. The Derby is named after the statue of the Virgin Mary on the top of the Milan Cathedral, which is a prominent landmark in the city. Here are some key aspects of the Derby della Madonnina. Historical background. The rivalry between AC Milan and Inter Milan dates back to the early 20th century. Both clubs were founded in 1899, and their shared city, Milan, became the stage for one of the most heated football rivalries in the world. City divided. The city of Milan is effectively divided into two footballing halves, with AC Milan based at the San Siro Stadium on the western side and Inter Milan on the eastern side. The San Siro, officially known as the Giuseppe Meazza Stadium, is shared by both clubs and serves as the battleground for their clashes. Success and prestige. AC Milan and Inter Milan are among the most successful clubs in Italian football, both domestically and internationally. Their successes in Serie A and in European competitions, such as the UEFA Champions League, have added to the prestige and importance of the derby matches. Passionate fan base. The fan base for both clubs is passionate and loyal. The atmosphere during the Derby della Madonnina is electric, with fans creating an intense and colorful display of support. The rivalry is not only about football but also about city pride and bragging rights. Iconic moments. The Derby has produced numerous iconic moments and memorable matches throughout its history. Goals, controversies, and dramatic comebacks have all been part of the narrative, contributing to the lore of the Derby della Madonnina. International impact. Given the success of both AC Milan and Inter Milan on the European stage, the matches between these two clubs have gained international attention. Fans from around the world tune in to watch the Milan Derby, making it one of the standout fixtures in European football. Global stars. Over the years, the Derby della Madonnina has featured some of the biggest names in football. The presence of international football stars adds an extra layer of excitement to the clashes between AC Milan and Inter Milan. The Derby della Madonnina remains a highlight of the Serie A calendar, and each meeting between AC Milan and Inter Milan is eagerly anticipated by football fans worldwide. The rich history, intense competition, and passionate fan base make it one of the most significant and captivating derbies in the footballing world. The Super Classico is the name given to the football matches between Boca Juniors and River Plate, two of the most successful and popular football clubs in Argentina. This rivalry is considered one of the most intense and passionate in the world, capturing the essence of Argentine football and culture. Here are some key aspects of the Superclásico. Historical rivalry. Boca Juniors and River Plate are both based in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and their rivalry dates back to the early 20th century. The two clubs have a long and storied history, and their matches are highly anticipated events in the Argentine football calendar. Stadiums. The Superclásico is typically held at two iconic stadiums in Buenos Aires. Boca Juniors play their home matches at La Bombonera, while River Plate plays at the Estadio Monumental. Both stadiums are known for their passionate and vocal fan bases, creating an electrifying atmosphere during matches. Passionate fan base. The supporters of Boca Juniors are known as Bosteros, while River Plate fans are called Los Borrachos del Tablón or simply Los Borrachos. The rivalry between these two sets of fans is intense, and the atmosphere in the stadiums during the Superclásico is often characterized by fervent chanting, colorful displays, and passionate celebrations. Cultural significance. The Superclásico goes beyond football, reflecting the cultural and social divides within Argentine society. Boca Juniors is often associated with the working-class neighborhoods of Buenos Aires, while River Plate has a broader, more middle-class appeal. The rivalry encapsulates elements of social class, identity, and regional pride. International impact. The Superclásico has gained international recognition due to the success of both Boca Juniors and River Plate in South American club competitions, particularly the Copa Libertadores. The two clubs have faced each other in high-stakes matches on the continental stage, further elevating the significance of their rivalry. Historic matches. The Superclásico has produced many memorable and historic moments over the years. From dramatic goals to controversial incidents, the matches between Boca Juniors and River Plate are etched in the memories of football fans globally. Global stars. The Superclásico often features top-quality players, and the intensity of the rivalry adds an extra layer of pressure and excitement to these matches. The presence of international football stars enhances the global appeal of the fixture. The Superclásico is not just a football match, it's a cultural event that captures the spirit and passion of Argentine football. The rivalry between Boca Juniors and River Plate is deeply ingrained in the fabric of Argentine society, making it one of the most celebrated and iconic matchups in the world of football. The Revierderby, also known as the Ruhr Derby, is a fierce football rivalry between two clubs from the Ruhr region in Germany, Borussia Dortmund and FC Schalke 04. The rivalry is characterized by intense competition, passionate fan bases, and a historic context that adds to the significance of each encounter. Here are some key aspects of the Revierderby. Geographical proximity. Borussia Dortmund and FC Schalke 04 are both based in the Ruhr region, an area with a rich industrial history. The proximity of the two clubs, just about 30 kilometers apart, adds a local and regional dimension to the rivalry. Industrial heritage. The Ruhr region was a center of coal and steel production, and historically, the club's fan bases have been associated with the working-class communities in the area. The rivalry carries elements of industrial heritage and local identity. Passionate fan base. Both Borussia Dortmund and FC Schalke 04 have passionate and dedicated fan bases. The atmosphere during the Revierderby is electric, with fans creating a vibrant and intense backdrop to the matches. The fan culture adds a unique flavor to the rivalry. Historical context. The Revierderby dates back to the early 20th century, and matches between Borussia Dortmund and FC Schalke 04 have been contested in various competitions over the years. The historical context adds depth to the rivalry and contributes to its significance in German football. Competitive matches. The Revierderby is known for producing competitive and closely contested matches. The outcomes of these matches often have implications not only for local bragging rights but also for the team's positions in the Bundesliga standings. Yellow Wall vs Nordkurve. The Signal Iduna Park, home of Borussia Dortmund, boasts the famous Yellow Wall, one of the most iconic and vibrant stands in football. On the other side, FC Schalke 04's Veltins Arena features the passionate Nordkurve. The visual and auditory spectacle created by these fan sections adds to the intensity of the derby. Global recognition. While the Revierderby is deeply rooted in local and regional dynamics, it has gained recognition on the global stage. Football fans worldwide are aware of the rivalry and the excitement it brings to German football. Impact on season objectives. Matches between Borussia Dortmund and FC Schalke 04 are not only about local pride but also about securing points in the Bundesliga. The competitive nature of the derby often means that these matches are crucial in the context of the team's season objectives. The Revierderby is a fixture that transcends football and becomes a cultural event in the Ruhr region. The passion, history, and intensity associated with Borussia Dortmund versus FC Schalke 04 make it one of the standout rivalries in German football. The Rio de Janeiro Derby, also known as Fla-Flu, is the intense and historic rivalry between two of the most popular football clubs in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Clube de Regatas do Flamengo and Fluminense Football Club. This derby is not only a clash of footballing prowess but also a reflection of the vibrant football culture in Rio and the passionate support for these two clubs. Here are some key aspects of the Rio de Janeiro Derby. Geographical rivalry. Flamengo and Fluminense are both based in Rio de Janeiro, and the derby represents a local clash between neighborhoods and communities in the city. The geographical proximity adds to the intensity of the rivalry. Historical significance. The Rio de Janeiro Derby has a rich history that dates back to the early 20th century. Matches between Flamengo and Fluminense have been contested in various competitions, including the Campeonato Carioca and national championships, contributing to the lore of Brazilian football. Maracana Stadium. The Maracana Stadium, one of the most iconic football stadiums in the world, is often the venue for the Rio de Janeiro Derby. The sheer size and historical significance of the Maracana add to the grandeur of the matches between Flamengo and Fluminense. Passionate fanbases. Both Flamengo and Fluminense boast passionate and dedicated fanbases. The supporters of Flamengo are known as Flamenguistas, while Fluminense fans are called tricolors. The rivalry between these two sets of fans creates an electric atmosphere during the derby matches. High-scoring and dramatic matches. The Rio de Janeiro Derby has been known for producing high-scoring and dramatic encounters. The matches often feature entertaining football, memorable goals, and moments that add to the folklore of Brazilian football. National and international impact. While the Rio de Janeiro Derby is a local affair, the success of both Flamengo and Fluminense on the national and international stages has brought attention to the rivalry beyond Brazil. Their participation in continental competitions like the Copa Libertadores has added an extra layer of significance to the matches. Cultural significance. The Rio de Janeiro Derby is not just a football match. It is a cultural event that reflects the passion and identity of Rio de Janeiro. The derby is woven into the fabric of the city's culture, and its significance goes beyond the boundaries of the football pitch. Global recognition. Brazilian football, in general, has a global following, and the Rio de Janeiro Derby is recognized and followed by football fans worldwide. The unique atmosphere, the quality of football, and the storied history make it a fixture that captures international attention.